Morning guys, Ben here. 40 days to Ironman. Where have those 61-ish previous days gone? I have no idea. Seems not so long ago that I was there just saying, right, this is the day we're kicking things off. This is where we're going. This is what I'm doing. It's mad. You know, mad how far not only have I come, but how far where the journey has taken me. And I think it's almost magical to a sense. You know, there was no way previously in past life of mine would I ever have been thinking about doing this kind of event or taking this amount of time and effort out and investing in sharing my journey out there for a number of reasons. But one thing that I have learned, more so just by speaking out my journey over the last 60 odd days, 61 days, is that it doesn't matter who you think you are. It doesn't matter who you think or what characters you think you're playing out, or what characters you think the outside world wants to see, hear, or what your perceived character should look like. And when I mean character, I mean the person that you can become, the person you can hide behind, the person that can take the stage excuse me, learn the lines and then act out. When you're delivering a message like this on a regular basis, you can't hide behind, or it's very hard to hide behind, any kind of truth. You know, I have multiple businesses. Some do better than others. Some are still in their early stages, start-up stages. Some have been going for several years now. And looking back, I've tried, and try is a word that I don't like using very often, because I never see true success when you try and do something. In my previous projects, in my businesses, where possible, I've tried to make the message as honest as I can, with clean intention, with clean purpose, and with my own, obviously, legacy plans at heart. I tried to make the message honest, sincere, and true. Previous businesses I've had in the past, I've hidden behind a character. I've played out the person that the client wanted me to be. But looking back at the videos of me now, this is truth. You can't hide behind a character when you're talking to nobody, talking to a camera. You can't skip the extra mile when you're running and you're actually documenting and put it out for the world to see. It's 100% truth. I'm going for a run now, it's a nice day. I'm going to share my run with you as much as I can. Never done the route before. I'm intending to run for an hour and a half. If I then show you my watch at the end and it says 45 minutes and it's not an hour and a half, there's no getting away from that truth. Sure, I could leave my watch running, but you're not going to see the distance creep up. You know, this journey for me is not only about sharing the message, but it's also releasing that truth within me, playing out my personality. And the difference between character and personality in my world is that character, again, is the person. You can play multiple characters. You can play father, mother, son, daughter, business owner, entrepreneur, successful person. All of these characters And they're based on what you want that person to be perceiving you as. You know, you're telling a story. Personality is the person you can't hide behind. Personality. Person. It is the person you truly are. It's self. I spoke about self in one of my podcasts the other day. You know, you can't hide behind truth. You can only play a character for so long before you get caught out, or before the truth really comes out. You know, you see it in relationships. I'm sure most people have seen it. You start dating someone for a while, their character that you're dating appears to be nice. It's only when you start going through pressures or stresses of that relationship do you understand the personality, the person they are, the truth that they are. So, just going back, went off track a little bit. This journey for me is not only been about sharing my journey, but also about truth, about sharing an experience, put out to the world in a truthful manner, because I've not seen it done before. I've seen people sharing their Ironman journeys or certain journeys, clip-its, but you've been with me now for a long period of time. You've been on this journey with me of truth, of discovery, of hardship. I've had losses, I've had struggles, I've had days where things haven't really gone to plan. I've had expectations over myself that haven't been met. All of this is truth. There's no getting away from, you know, the reality of this world, what's happening within. So that was just my kind of thought, my reflection of this morning. Kicked off today with 2 bowls of porridge. I'm just about to have an electrolyte drink and a energy gel with caffeine in it. It's an hour and a half run. That's the intention anyway. It will be off in that direction, and near Arundel, just outside Arundel. It's going to be predominantly running on the road. There's going to be no track that I'm aware of. Again, I've not run this road before. It's a long, windy road through the countryside, through a couple of small villages, and then I intend to reach a place called Burpham, and then I think that will take me enough time, and then turn around and come back. I may not reach that level or that distance within 45 minutes or so. So we're going to see how I get on. As I said, it's a nice sunny day. I'm looking forward to getting out. I am going to record it. I don't know how it's going to come out because it's on the road, and I'm not sure of how picturesque it's going to be. But it's going to be interesting. If there is any diverts off, then I'm going to remain flexible and see where those paths take. But for now, if you're watching this in real time, happy Sunday. If not, then I will catch up with you after the run. But for now, peace out. So that's the run done. Just got back to the car, just set off. Possibly one of my best runs ever. And I know that's a big statement to make, but scenery was really good, pace was good, the sun's out, feel good in myself, in my body, I've got a positive attitude. There was not much more really on that run that could have gone any better. To be honest, that's being brutally honest. It's one of my favourite places around there. You've got the mix of the rivers, the countryside, nice windy country roads, stunning architecture in the property sense, and silence. You know, I'm back on a B road now, and an A road, and it's kind of busy. You're back in the mix of the masses. You know, it's pulled out of a busy junction. You've got people there that are angry, want to get to wherever they're going so quickly. You know, life's a rush. There's so much going on in their head, they're failing to appreciate really what's around them. So yeah, it was a good run. About 5 minutes short really on time, so it was a relatively good guess on timing. The pace was incredibly slow, and I think that's the reason why I probably feel so good at the end of it. Is I just got into that heart rate zone. I think it was between 2 and 3, so it's not walking pace and it's not marathon pace, it's kind of just a bit less. And it's interesting because the thought of doing that kind of pace after 8 hours, 9 hours already of moving doesn't seem all that fearful, to be fair. And I think that's the mindset that I'm going to keep, is that, you know, if I can move at that slow, steady pace, constantly moving forward, driving myself towards the finish line, I don't think I'm going to come up with many struggles or concerns. Touch wood. And obviously there's so many things that can go different on the day, but when I get to that transition 2, and the bikes and the legs have found themselves again, engage the muscles as they need to be, I think it's going to be enjoyable. So that's it. I've just hydrated with 22 ounces of recovery shake at a Naked Bar. Just off to go and get showered, changed. I'm out with the family for a short while, and then I have a 3,000 metre swim this afternoon. It's only 11 o'clock this morning, so probably head to the gym about 4ish. So that's it. Thanks for tuning in. I will catch up with you a bit later. Hi guys. So, second session just done. 3,000 metre swim, 54 minutes ish, I think it was. It would have been, I reckon, a good 2-3 minutes quicker. Bear in mind this is in the pool and not open water. If the pool was empty. At one stage there were 8 people in a double lane, maybe even 9. So it slowed me up quite a lot. I was going literally up and down the middle, having to stop at both ends because of congestion and people not following any kind of swim etiquette whatsoever, standing at the end of the pool so you couldn't turn, all sorts. Anyway, small whinge ran over. Possibly, with that being said, one of the most comfortable swims I've done. So all in all, today has been fantastic. Not only did I have the sunshine out this morning while I was running, and as you can tell or not tell now, it's raining, but also the swim, I had bags of energy, very happy, got in the right mind. I was actually thinking about the day, what I'm going to be experiencing, visualising perhaps the start, what the swim's going to be like. I think it's handy having a busy pool at times because, you know, having an empty pool may be very good for thrashing out the miles, but as people will know if they've competed already, bear in mind I've never ever done a triathlon, it's like a washing machine or like a soap bowl with everyone kicking and punching and trying to get out. So it's quite handy actually having lots of people in the pool because it gets you in that mindset of being close with other people. I guess I'm making assumptions. So yeah, overall it's been a really good day. I had 2 hours sleep earlier. When I got back in from the run, spent some time with the family, had a few things I had to, chores, Sunday chores, and then just went and laid down and, crashed out for 2 hours, which was nice. And that may be the reason why I've had more energy this afternoon on the swim. Just before hitting the swim, about an hour before the swim, I had 2 large wraps with mincemeat salad in. Don't usually have the wholemeal wraps, but I really fancied them, and it was simply mincemeat with chili powder, herbs and spices, lots of cracked salt and lots of Himalayan pink salt. So that's it for today, Sunday. Tomorrow is my day off. I'm actually heading into London first thing. I'll do a couple of videos tomorrow, but it's going to be nothing substantial. Reached out to a couple of athletes. One of my favourite athletes that I've been following for a while. You would have seen her in the video yesterday. Actually saw her the last time I was at the sports resort where I'm staying at in Lanzarote, and never introduced myself, but I've been following her on Facebook for a while and I'm kicking myself now. So I reached out to her, and it happens that she's leaving the day before that I arrive at the resort. Otherwise I would have had an interview with her, and it's a real bummer, but there'll be more times, I'm sure. So I'm just setting up a couple of interviews. I know that there's a radio station or podcast station that want to have a chat with me, so that'd be really cool. And that's about it. Every day I'm making progress, and I've just stuck a post out on Instagram. The fact that it was only a few months ago that I could barely swim 100 metres, so 4 lengths, without being completely out of breath. Being able to swim, but not swim, if you understand where I'm coming from. I've just done 120 lengths, and probably could have done it again. If I had the time to, if I didn't put any pressure on myself. And it's amazing in 12 odd weeks how far we can progress, not only in our mindset but also in our physical abilities. And if you're also training at the moment, or you're watching this in the future and you're training for an event, then it's a truly remarkable thing to be doing. Just seeing and being aware of that progression. And that's half the reason that I've done this video blog, is also not only to share my message in the hope that I inspire at least one person that's out there, but also to look back and reflect upon how I was. I'm putting this out there for forever ultimately, and it's going to be interesting to look back in a few years, perhaps once I've done a couple of more endurance events or different types of events, just reflecting on how I was feeling after 3,000 metres. Who knows, I might go and do a 10k swim. 5 years time I might decide to swim the channel, and it would be nice. I have no intention of swimming the channel, by the way, although never say never. But, just putting it out there and saying that it would be interesting to see back in my early 30s ish what what I was doing, how I was feeling, and what my mindset was. So that's it for today. Thank you for tuning in. Really appreciate all the support and feedback. As always, please remember to subscribe below. Check out my other videos. Leave some good feedback if you have found any use in this. I'll do my best to reply. Hit me up on Facebook. We're getting a good community going on Facebook now. There's been some really nice threads and themes. Have got something exciting in the pipeline, which I'm hoping to launch by the end of April 2016. So that's at the end of this month. Hopefully that will be live properly pre Ironman. So although the launch date is the end of April with a few delays and bits and pieces, it may be the end of May. Just giving myself a little bit more time without any pressure. So that's exciting. That's in the bag. That's coming up. More on that at a later date. But for now, have a good evening. Peace out.